Hello everybody, this is Kyle Ott, of course, for Draftradio. We're doing a powered cube draft, which is pretty sweet. This is an interesting pack. I have to rush through it a little bit because I had a little trouble with the recording software, so I don't have as much time to go through the pick. But we're taking Animate Dead. It's just really the easiest thing to do, and it's part of a really good archetype. Confiscate is probably the next best card. Mind Over Matter is pretty good too. But we're taking Animate Dead. Okay. Whew. Sorry guys, had to rush through that one. I didn't want to lose that Animate Dead. So we've got some options in this pack, certainly some interesting ones. Balance is pretty backbreaking. It does exactly what it says it does. It balances the board. And there's also a Ring of Gix, which is pretty insane. I mean, it's basically Icy Manipulator, but way better. I don't think I've ever seen Island Sanctuary or used Island Sanctuary before. There's a Tinker, which I think is just an awesome, awesome card, especially if you get like a Blightsteel Colossus or something like that. There's a Patriarch's Bidding, which is also pretty good. Isamaru, Hound of Khanda, a phenomenal card for the aggressive archetypes. I'm going to take this Tinker. I think Powered Cube in particular lends itself to a more a more strategic deck building rather than just kind of going all in. Although I do like the white-red aggressive deck, but we're going to try Tinker. Hopefully I can get a really good something. There's a Massacre Worm, which seems pretty insane. Preacher, gain control of one of your opponent's creatures. Opponent chooses which target creature you control. If creature becomes untapped, you lose control of that creature. You may choose not to... Wait, so I basically just gain control of target creature? You also lose control of the creature if Preacher leaves play or at end of game. Huh, so basically this guy is permanent control magic for 3 mana, really for 4 mana. So I have a Planeswalker or a Preacher. I want to take Preacher. Preacher seems cool. Although there's also Mind Twist, which seems really good. Massacre Worm and Necrotal both keep me on that black plan. Although this just seems insane. Because, I mean, if they've got one creature, they're just dead. Right? Right? Is Preacher good? Plus the artwork is just insane. I love Quentin Hoover's stuff. Well, there's no good artifact that we can grab with Tinker. I mean, Ryusi's pretty cool. I'm just going to go take the Planeswalker. It's probably the safest bet, in all honesty, and we can see what we want to do from there. Kega the Tidestar is probably what we're... Oh, no, there's an Unburial Rites. I like Unburial Rites. Sign of Darkness, too. Oh, wait, so we can cycle Sign of Darkness and then get him back with other stuff? Oh, that seems awesome. Combat damage player, put target creature card from that player's graveyard onto my... Oh, that's insane for Reanimator. So it's either Unburial Rites or Scion of Darkness, which puts himself into the graveyard for our Animate Dead. I think we're going to take Scion of Darkness. Plus, let's be honest, I kind of want to try Scion of Darkness. A lot of times, too, what's great about Tapped Out is you can find these people who make their custom cubes. Obviously, this isn't like the gospel-powered cube. And you can try some new stuff. And I like trying new stuff. I think we all like trying new stuff in Magic. Otherwise, we wouldn't be playing it. Coffin Queen. Put target creature card from any graveyard into play under your control. I'm going to choose not to untap Coffin Queen. Okay, well, Coffin Queen is part of the Reanimator. Yep, she takes a card from a graveyard and makes us do stuff with it. So that's what we're taking. This is sweet. Alright, so there's a Resto Angel. There's also a Grim Lavamancer, a Phantasmal Image, which goes pretty nicely with our Tinker. Still no good artifacts, though, for our Tinker, which is kind of annoying. I think the most powerful card is probably Phantasmal Image. Just being able to copy somebody's best stuff seems amazing. Yeah, that's probably what we're going to take. Plus, we can just reoccur Phantasmal Image over and over and over to grab the best stuff. Yeah, that seems good. I think that seems good anyway. Like I said, I'm not the most gospel player when it comes to cube draft, but I'm willing to try just about everything. Ink Eyes, Servant of the Oni, Ninjutsu for 5. Whenever she does damage, put a creature card from that player's graveyard onto the battlefield under my control, and she's got regen. So for 5 mana, I get to do stuff. I get to swing in. Oh, yeah. I mean, the other pick would be Mutilate, I think, to let us harm people, but I don't really care. Ink Eyes seems amazing. Dance of the Dead. Take target creature from any graveyard and put it directly into play under your control. Tap with a +1/+1 counter. That creature does not untap during its controller's untap phase. At the end of his or her upkeep, its controller may pay an additional 2 to untap it. Oh, so this just takes another creature from our graveyard. What does Corpse Dance do? Put the top creature card from your graveyard into play. What? Oh, remove it from the game at end of turn. Okay, I'm like, that seems insane. You may choose to play Necromancy as an instant. When Necromancy, choose target creature card in a graveyard. When Necromancy comes into play, put that creature into play, and Necromancy becomes a creature enchantment. So this just grabs another creature from our graveyard, and it's better than Dance of the Dead. Although Dance of the Dead is cheaper, but the creature doesn't come into play, and yeah, it seems good. The other pick would be Consume Spirit. It looks like we're what are we trying to do? So let's think a little bit before we go further with our picks. We're looking for ways to put creatures into our graveyard, or for really awesome creatures that we want to put into our or ways to put our creatures into the graveyard. We're going to take Sylvan Caryatid here. Master Thief is fine, Dissipate is fine, but I mean, we've got a Phantasmal Image and a Tinker, and then we have a Garruk, and I think we can just take Caryatid. There's really nothing else that I want. I mean, Dissipate's fine. Although Ring of Gix seems... Actually, Ring of Gix seems pretty amazing. And it does keep my options open. So Ring of Gix it is. Ring of Gix it is. Ooh, Deranged Hermit is good, though. Deranged Hermit is very good. And think about this. We can just reoccur Deranged Hermit. Like, we can not pay his Echo cost and then get him back with our other stuff, then not pay his Echo cost and then get him back. Yeah, we can abuse Deranged Hermit. Let's try that. We're going to take Hammer of Bogarden. Pyroclasm doesn't hurt me too much. Shard Phoenix is pretty good. But I think Hammer or Chroma's Vengeance is decent too. But well, we could just take Chroma's Vengeance. I mean, I don't know if we're going to be desperate for playables. But we could always cycle this card. But I think we're just going to... Yeah. Although we could take Krosan Grip too for the sideboard. Yeah, we'll take Krosan Grip for the sideboard. It makes more sense for me to do sideboard stuff. Just take Gutter Snipe because I just don't want to deal with Gutter Snipe. Earthquake could be good. Earthquake could be a good finisher if we need to splash red. Mutilate Wield, which is awesome, and a Spike Feeder. I don't really need Spike Feeder. I'm going to hide this Phantasmal Image and this Tinker. Yeah, that seems like we're off to a decent start. We've got Necromancy, Ink Eyes, Coffin Queen, Animate Dead, so we've already got some great ways to do it. We've got a Planeswalker and a Deranged Hermit. The Spike Feeder doesn't do much. Mutilate's kind of good. I think if we can try and go Mono Black, I would like to go Mono Black, but we'll see what we got. There is a Iwamari. Interesting. Fork is playable. Sacrifice a creature. Return Reoccurring Nightmare to its owner's hand. Put target creature card from your graveyard into play. Huh. Well then. Okay. More Reanimator stuff. We need to just find big things now to put into play, but I mean, we're in a really good spot. Alright, so what are we looking for? Awesome creatures and ways to put things into our graveyard. So let's see, what do we got in this pack? A Koldatha Phoenix, which seems okay. Yeah, Koldatha Phoenix seems fine. There's also an Elephant Guide, which I like. Gaia's Blessing. Life's Finale. Destroy all creatures and search target opponent's library for up to 3 creature cards. Put them into his or her graveyard. Oh, that's awesome for us. That's a way to get our opponent's stuff. Which we can target with Animate Dead. Yeah, I think Life's Finale, because that lets us basically kill everything and then tutor for our opponent's creatures, which they can use with like Animate Dead and Ink Eyes and Coffin Queen. So Life's Finale it is. So let's see here. What is this? Yawgmoth's Bargain. Pay 1 life, draw a card. That seems incredible. Although we haven't seen any powered stuff, which makes me a little sad. We do have Mutilate, though. I'm going to hide this stuff. I think we could take Nighthawk. We need lower cost cards, I think, at this point. Although Yawgmoth's Bargain seems insane, and I want it. But there's also an Isochron Scepter, but I have no good ways to reoccur Isochron Scepter. Inferno is fine, as is Covetous Dragon. And Gauntlet of Power is always good. I mean, these are all good cards. This is Cube. Nothing's going to be bad, necessarily. But I think the pick for us is between Yawgmoth's Bargain and Vampire Nighthawk, and we just don't have any creatures right now. So it sucks. I'm taking the Nighthawk, but I don't want to pass that. But what you gonna do, right? And then Tuco Shade is decent. Although there's also Infest, which seems good. Oh, there's a Sylvos Rogue Elemental, which is exactly what we want to use. We want to recur cards like that, I guess. Although there's other stuff too that we could certainly play. I mean, there's a Flame Tongue Kavu. We've got Earthquake and Gutter Snipe, and a lot of sorceries actually. Now that I'm looking at my deck. And Flame Tongue Kavu would be awesome to recur. Actually, now that I think about that, so maybe we do take Flame Tongue Kavu. Can we afford going red? I mean, we just don't have any. We don't have any good ways to put our own guys in, like in the yard necessarily. Sylvos seems insane, though. I think we'll take Sylvos. This is the kind of big... sorry, not Jaya Ballard, but Sylvos is the big creature that we want to have. And I'm not opposed to splashing for Earthquake if we get some relevant mana, but there's a hammer. There we go. Survival of the Fittest. This is exactly what we're looking for. I was going to take hammer, but then I saw survival next to it. Survival's great because it basically lets us choose and ditch our creatures. So we basically get to ditch whatever creature that we want to reanimate, get another creature, and then this is part of our engine, basically. So survival is what we're taking. Hammer is the close second. Shrapnel Blast is fine too, I guess, if you're in that archetype. But we're not. I don't care. There is a Grinning Demon. Wow. That is awesome. There's also a Masticore. Oh, Masticore is great because, again, we get to discard cards, and that puts the reanimation engine there. There's also the Grinning Demon. Do we want Masticore? Yeah, Masticore seems pretty awesome. Yeah, we get a 5/5 with First Strike, and it lets us discard our own stuff to... Yeah. So basically what we're doing, we have Masticore, Survival of the Fittest, Life's Finale as ways to put stuff into the yard, and then Reoccurring Nightmare, Necromancy, Coffin Queen, Ink Eyes, and Animate Dead, and to a lesser extent, Scion as ways to get that stuff back, which is exactly what we want. Alrighty then. There's a Befoul, which is good. Frost Titan's insane. Fire Blast, which we're not going to use. Wolfear Avenger is fine as a Juggernaut. I think we're just going to take Befoul here. It helps for us to have good removal, so Befoul it is. We can take Iwamari, I guess. I mean, I'm not really afraid of any legend. I didn't see too many good legendaries. And a 5/5 with Trample on turn 4 seems pretty good. So we'll try it. Maybe he's bad. I don't know. Cabal Coffers certainly encourages us to play the Mono deck. I don't know what Breaking Point is. Again, sometimes the splash art never shows up, but that's okay. There's also Academy Rector. Yeah, maybe we should just take Coffers. Who knows? We could just be Mono Black. Yawgmoth's Bargain Wield, which seems awesome. That seems sweet. We're going to take Nantuko Shade as an alternate win condition. I don't really need Infest. I've already got one board wipe. Again, I just kind of need some creatures. Shrapnel Blast because he can just come out of nowhere and kill us. Oh, we got Grinning Demon. That's really good. And a relevant way to splash for that Earthquake with a Blood Crypt. There we go. Now it's coming together. Earthquake's awesome as a finisher. Or as a way to tie up the game. Wow, Grinning Demon, man. I tell you what, they just don't make art for Magic cards like they used to. This guy is insane. Look at him. Like, that's actually scary. Legitimately. I looked at the new set, and, like, M15 looks okay. But honestly, I just get this really Yu-Gi-Oh-ish vibe from it. Which is fine. Like, I mean, if you like Yu-Gi-Oh, you know, you do you. I'm not gonna judge you for liking Yu-Gi-Oh, but it's not the same game as Magic, and just my vibe with a lot of the cards, like the artwork and the new borders, just kind of makes me go, this seems just really Yu-Gi-Oh-ish. And that's not really what I want with my Magic necessarily. But I mean, hey, that's just one player's opinion, so it's not a huge deal. So we've got Ravenous Baloth, sweet card in Wall of Blossoms. I mean, it buys us a lot of time. There's also a Plague Sliver, which is really nice. Rise from the Grave, which is good in the Reanimator archetype. There's also a Brawn, which is a sweet card to have when, you can ditch it. Everybody gets Trample. Plus, it's a decent card for its casting cost. I mean, a 4-mana 3/3 is something you're going to pay for in draft and be pretty happy about anyway. But the fact that it's got Trample is good. Although I think for us what we're going to do is we're going to take Chameleon Colossus. I mean, this card, A, beats us, which is bad. And B, it's awesome. I mean, just a 4-mana 4/4 beater. We've already got plenty of ways to reoccur stuff. We don't really need another 4-drop. This, in all likelihood, with a pack as awesome as this, is probably going to wheel. And if it doesn't, I don't really care that much anyway. Bone Shredder is the only other card that I would take, and I really like Chameleon Colossus. So that's what we're taking. Huzzah! All right, what do we have? Treachery is broken as crap. Well, darn it. I don't like Treachery. I don't like fighting Treachery. Also, can I just say that I'm really bummed that we didn't get anything good to tinker? I didn't see any good artifacts. I saw a Juggernaut. Like, there was no Mire Battlesphere that I was like, dude, we're doing that. I think the pick for us is going to be Royal Assassin. I really like Royal Assassin. Nice 3-drop. Does relevant things. Decent stuff. There's nothing else in here that I really want other than Treachery, and I'm not in those colors. So, not much to say about that. Alright, so we've got a Reanimate, which is awesome, and a Scythix. And I think I actually want Scythix. This guy seems broken. He seems good. Seems real good. There's also a Diabolic Edict, which I don't mind if that wheels. Yeah. Oh, Mox Diamond. Oh, man. I have to choose between Mox Diamond, Scythix, and Reanimate? Well, let's think about this realistically here. I've got a couple ways to ditch cards into the graveyard. So maybe Reanimate's not actually the pick. I think we'll take Scythix. Oh, no, we'll take Reanimate. We are the Reanimator deck. I need Reanimate. There's some great stuff. I mean, Gatekeeper of Malakir is wonderful. Roaring Primadox is actually pretty decent in this sort of a format where you're trying to abuse stuff like Flame Tongue Kavu as much as possible. But this is Kokusho. I mean, you don't... This guy is banned in like 6 formats. That's a joke. He's not banned in 6 formats. He's mostly just banned in Commander. But I digress. He is very good. And that is what we're going to grab. Alright, what else do we have? Sundering Titan. Well, now there's something good to tinker. That's stupid. Man, I wanted him. Darn it. Maybe we could just take Sundering Titan. He does seem sweet. And can we abuse him? I think we can abuse him, actually. There's also Sangromancer, which seems pretty good. Our curve seems pretty high, in all honesty. Oh, I want Sundering Titan. Alright, so the pick is between Sundering Titan and Sangromancer. How many big creatures we have? We have Kokusho, Colossus counts, Demon counts, Iwamari sort of counts, Razormane Masticore, Scion of Darkness counts, Ink Eyes counts. Yeah, I think we have to take Sangromancer here. It's better to fill in the curve than it is to go in all in. While I do want to go in all in, mind you, it's better to do the smart thing. So, smart things away. Call of the Herd, I think, is going to be what we're taking. We're not the Life from the Loam deck. This Ensnaring Bridge, while awesome, is not what we're trying. Well, maybe it is what we're trying to do. We are kind of slow and dirtily. Interesting. There's a Glory, a Bringer of the Blue Dawn, which does seem kind of awesome. Cave Troll, Call of the Herd. Actually, maybe we're slow enough that Ensnaring Bridge actually works. You know what? I've tried Call of the Herd before. I'm trying Ensnaring Bridge. We're going to try this sort of stuff. Alright, so let's see what we've got here. Bringer of the White Dawn. Invisible Stalker is actually really incredible. Manowar is good for that blue-black tempo. It's like Marshall Sutcliffe's favorite cube deck to play. There's also a Diagraph Ghoul, and a Hypnotic Spectre, certainly things that we want, but I think we're going to take Llanowar Elves. In case we just need to accelerate out the good old-fashioned way. We're going to do it. Oh, wow. Bone Shredder Wield. Bone Shredder is exactly what we want. You play it, it kills something, hopefully maybe it blocks. If it doesn't block, you can just not pay the echo cost and go on with your life. So, Bone Shredder it is. Good removal, it's a creature. Not much else to say about it. When Raven Guildmaster deals combat damage to a player, yeah, that's annoying. There's also Time Spiral. I'm actually just going to take Raven. I really don't feel like getting milled out. And if they have this thing, I don't really care. So, Raven Guildmaster is what we're taking. Ooh, Diabolic Edict or Mox Diamond. So I think the choice for us is between Mox Diamond. If Mox Diamond in battlefield... so I have to discard a land card. I think that's fine. And no one took Tolarian Academy? I don't really care if they have Balduvian, Horde, or Fire Servant, in all honesty. Kumano is pretty awesome, as is Flash, but I think Tolarian Academy, just we take that so it doesn't go to somebody else and just absolutely abuse us. Bringer of the Black Dawn is cool. There's also Phage, who... Oh, Phage... Okay, so if you didn't cast it from your hand, you lose the game. That's dumb. Wow, that's terrible. That's so dumb. Yeah, we're not doing that. We're taking Bringer. That's stupid. I wanted to play that really badly. Ivory Tower seems dirtily. There's also Bringer, the Blue Dawn, Life in the Loam. Again, we're not either of these decks, so we'll take Ivory Tower. See what happens. Shard Convergence seems not what we want. We'll take Phantasm. And we wheel Plague Sliver. Not bad, not bad. Alright, this is going to be fun to construct. I'm going to hide this. Okay, never mind. I'm not going to hide this. You tell you what, man. I need to start doing more Cube. Both because I've had a couple of our fans actually comment us on some of the videos and be like, hey, like, you need to start doing some more Cube. And you're like, you're right, fans. I do need to start doing more Cube. Cube is awesome. Alright, so let's see. We can start by hiding this. I don't think we're playing Cabal Coffers, although maybe we are. Let's take a look at what we're doing with our lives. I'm not going to play Mutilate. I don't think I'm actually going to play Cabal Coffers. I have yet to decide if I'm going to really and truly splash for Earthquake or not. So let's take a look at what we've got. Bottle Gnomes can probably be taken out. Why is Jace's Phantasm in here? Sometimes you guys do weird things. There's also Ensnaring. Oh, wow. We got a lot of stuff to cut. Interesting. I just decided to do a lot of things. I guess I wasn't cutting stuff in time early on in the draft to make that applicable. Interesting. Alright, so we've got 24, 28, 29, 33. Excellent. So we need to cut many cards. Many cards. 9 cards to be exact. Right? 9 cards? Jeez, man, I can't math right now. It's late. Who maths anymore? Alright, so we need Survival of the Fittest in the deck. I don't think we're splashing for Earthquake. So we can just take Earthquake out. We can take the Blood Crypt out. I think we'll leave Garrick in just because he seems like really decent. I don't think we're going to be running Ivory Tower. Ensnaring Bridge is fine. I actually think we do run Ensnaring Bridge just in case we run into some trouble early on. This is just a nightmare for aggressive decks. Although I guess we can sideboard that. So we can sideboard that. That sounds good. I am going to play Mox Diamond, though. I'll take Bottle Gnomes out. What do I not want to run? That is the question. Probably some of this. I'm probably going to be predominantly black, you'd think. Let's see what our count is now. 23, 26, 27, 30. Am I going to play Ring of Gix? Probably not. I'm already running Ensnaring Bridge. Coffin Queen I am definitely going to play. I think Deranged Tournament I can play pretty well. I think I have to cut some of the higher cost cards in the deck, in all honesty. Because we're at 23, 26, 27, so I still have to cut 4 cards. And I probably basically the 4 cards have to be creatures, I think. And then I don't have to run Ensnaring Bridge. Bone Shredder seems awesome with Reanimator, now that I look at it. Alright, let's cut Chameleon Colossus. Maybe we could just do Survival of the Fittest. I could just run Survival of the Fittest in this deck, now that I'm thinking about this. And I could run the Cabal Coffers. Yeah. And I could just keep Sylvos in here, just to ditch him to stuff. I could ditch him to Survival of the Fittest, and then ditch him to... But then he's a dead draw, if I don't have a way to ditch him. So let's take Llanowar Elves out. Let's take Sylvos out. Refresh. That's 20, 23. Let's take Iwamori out. $19, $22, $23, $26. If I decide I don't necessarily have to run... Yeah, actually, I think I'd just run... I don't need Deranged Hermit. Yeah, now that I'm looking at this. This seems excellent, now that I'm thinking about this. I can run Cabal Coffers. Just get infinite mana. That way, in case I don't need to do stuff. 18, 21, 22, and then I can run Ensnaring Bridge. Or Ring of Gix, or Mox Diamond. Yeah, that seems good. And Cabal Coffers. Or I can run Blood Crypt and Splash for the Earthquake. Or run them both, actually. I think I'm going to run them both. Alright. This was Lejenka Robles, one of our other fun bomb-heavy deck that we tried last time. Yeah. This seems way better. I love how what's great about drafting is you never really know where you're gonna wind up like 1 minute to the next. You can really just find yourself in a weird places. Because I mean we just went from being like, no, we're not gonna splash for this, and then we're like, yeah, we're splashing for this. 18, 21, 22. Okay, I think I am actually gonna splash for Earthquake as a win condition. I'm either splashing for Earthquake or playing Ensnaring Bridge. I have yet to decide which one I am doing. We're doing 1 Cabal Coffers. Or I could play Mutilate, too. Huh, I could play Mutilate. Interesting, I could do that. 1 Cabal Coffers, 4 Forest. I need to be able to play the Survival of the Fittest and Garrick. So I think 4 Forest is fine. We'll do 1 Blood Crypt. No, yeah, we're not going to do that now that I look at this. Because we're doing 4 Forests, 1 Cabal Coffers, that's 5, and then we get 12 Swamps. And then I think I just shut up and run Ensnaring Bridge. Or Mox Diamond. We'll try Ensnaring Bridge. I've run Mox Diamond before. I can't spell. Ensnaring Bridge. Oh, we need an awesome title. This is the best deck ever, Junior. Card not found, Forest, Swamp, and Ensnaring Bridge. Which means generally when the card is not found, it's because of just a spelling error on the actual site. Ensnaring Bridge. Oh, I forgot an N. Whoops. Perfect. Ensnaring Bridge. The last jank raid is ready. Alright guys, as always, I will see you in round 1. Hopefully, this Reanimator deck stands up to our scrutiny. Alright, I'll see you guys in round 1.